Well, hey, everyone. Whoa. It seems like whoever was using this last time was yelling. Sorry about that, perhaps. But that's okay. My name is Jake, and you can see me from this little bit of light, or the people in the back will hit the next lighting scene, and there I am. Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Jake. It feels like it's been a while, right? For those of you who don't know, a lot of times it's hard for us to remember how to introduce ourselves. And so whenever someone's up here and they say, hi, my name is whatever their name is, everyone in the crowd responds with a, hi, my name is whatever your name is. So let's try it one more time. Hi, my name is Jake. I love it. I love it. So as you guys, I've never seen it on a giant TV that's bigger than a human before. But yeah, so my hair is maroon, right? It's not really red. It was supposed to be red because the freshmen won last week. Boo. But it's kind of maroon because I added a little bit too much pink to it. So it's kind of like the sixth grade one. So, hey, way to go, sixth grade. You did it. You didn't, but way to go anyway. We're proud of you. And so today we're starting a series called Best Friends, and you'll never believe what it's about. Wow, you will believe. You're so good at this. And so what's cool is that if you have one friend, you have a best friend. That's just the way math works. And if you have a million friends, you're really popular on Instagram. Like, congratulations. But everyone has, if you have a friend, you have a best friend. And so this matters to everyone. And so sometimes our friends, especially our best friends, they have a way of influencing us or making us do things that we normally wouldn't do. I like to say they gas us up. That's kind of a term I like to use. And so I have a friend named Raul who was great at gassing me up. He was we call him like a gas man. He was so good at it. And so he would do this thing. He's just so persistent and so like fun and so smiley and so like, oh my gosh, this will be so much fun, that he gets you to believe that like it will be so much fun. And so my buddy Raul, like I said, he moved to LA a couple years ago. I know, I was really sad about it. I'm still pretty sad about it. Some of you 8th graders might remember him because he used to work here. There you go. I know. I also love Raul. I hope he sees this one day and feels all the love. And so the second he moved there, because he moved pretty quick, and so the second he moved there, he started texting me and saying, bro, when are you coming? When are you coming out? When are you coming to visit? When are you coming to LA? You gotta come, like Santa Monica. Oh my gosh, we're gonna go to these beaches. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna have like bonfires at night. We're gonna do all these things. You have to come to LA. And every single time I said, hey, that's cool. That's expensive. California's like, I was just trying to be like a responsible person and thought like, maybe one day that'd be really fun. When I'm an adult with a job and a house, then I can go and have fun in California. But I was just worried about it. It was like an inner thing, and I didn't think that it was going to be like a thing I should do. But then he called me one day, and he said, hey, our buddy Donovan's coming out. You have to come this day. And he gassed me up, and he kept telling me how great it was. And so I booked a flight. It was my first time booking a flight, and I did poorly. I flew Spirit, which is bad. And I flew out there, and I landed, and he picked me up, and it was great. It was one of like the best weeks ever, or best weekends ever. It was so much fun. And he gassed me up, and I probably wouldn't have done it if he hadn't influenced me to do it. And so sometimes our friends influence us to do pretty awesome things. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes our friends influence us to do things that are dumb. And so I had a couple friends when I was in college, and we named our group of friends, because that's something you did like 8 years ago. And so that group of friends was named A Squad. And so that group of friends were dumb. And I'm not going to name names. I did name the squad, but I'm not going to name names, because they thought it would be a good idea to go camping. And obviously, we all know that is a dumb idea. Camping is ridiculous, and who would ever want to intentionally sleep on the ground? And so when I think camping, I think getting a camper or getting an Airbnb or getting a cabin or doing those things you do. But they thought, let's get a tent and go camping in March during spring break in Ohio when it's not warm enough to go camping. And so that's what we did. And so they kept pushing and pushing, and I was like, I don't know. That seems kind of dumb. Isn't it cold in March? And they said, stop it. Stop thinking that way. It's going to be fun. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And so we did. And you know what? It was awful. It was an awful experience, just like camping always is. And no one ever remembers, and that's why people keep going camping. And it was awful and cold, and we had to huddle for warmth at night, and I couldn't even go to the bathroom because it was so cold. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. It was awful. And so sometimes our friends push us or persuade us or influence us to do things that aren't great, that are foolish, that are not smart, that are not worth doing. And so everyone here, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, everyone here has been influenced by someone. Everyone here has been influenced by someone in their life. Maybe it's with what you say, or maybe it's like with a joke you normally wouldn't say with your parents, but you'd say it to your friends kind of thing. Maybe it's how you spend your time. Maybe it's who you talk to. Maybe it's what you do, like what sport you play or what you do outside of school, whatever. Everyone here has been influenced by someone else. And so that kind of begs the question, does it really matter who your friends are? Does it matter who your friends are, who these people are that you're letting into your life? Does it matter? Does it affect you? And so Jesus' brother, his name was James, and he actually wrote a little bit about it. And so it's right there in the Bible. It's the book of James, chapter 4. And he said, he came off kind of strong, so I'm going to explain it a little bit. But he said, "You are not faithful to God. Don't you know that to be a friend of the world is to hate God? So anyone who chooses to be the world's friend becomes God's enemy." And like I said, he comes off kind of strong, and he's not like, this isn't James being like, get rid of team trees or whatever. When he says the world, he's saying that he's talking about the people of the world, the people who don't believe in God, the people who hate God, the people who are working against him, the people who are pushing you to do bad things. And so when he's saying, when he's talking about being a friend of the world, when he's saying, what he's talking about is being a friend of people who push you to do bad things. And so anyone who chooses to be the world's friend or friends with those people who push you to do bad things, they become enemies of God. And that's crazy serious. That is a bold claim to put in the Bible, that like all of a sudden, like, you'll become the enemy of God. You'll be working against God if you start being, just because you're friends with these people. That seems kind of extreme. But what's wild is I've seen it happen. And so I've known people. I've been in youth ministry for a couple years now, and I've met a lot of you guys. And I met people here before who were great. They were really focused on the Bible. They were really focused on getting to know God. They loved their small group. They were here every single week. They were growing in their faith. Some of them were even serving in HD Kids, which was super cool to see. And then their friends graduated, or their friends moved up to high school while they were still in middle school, or their friends stopped coming for whatever reason, and all of a sudden they disappeared. Because their friends stopped following God, they also stopped following God. And it's really, really scary how quick it can happen. We don't always know we're being affected until it's too late. We don't always know we're being affected by others until it's too late. There's a book of the Bible called Proverbs, and Connor Mead said something that I thought was super funny. He said Proverbs is kind of like the social media of the Bible. It's kind of like Twitter of the Bible, because it's just like 2-sentence lines all throughout the book that don't always have anything to do with each other other than those 2 sentences. So it's super easy to read. You can just open Proverbs and learn something cool. But the writer of Proverbs says, "Walk with wise people and become wise. A companion of foolish people suffers harm." Let me say that one more time. Walk with wise people and become wise. A companion of foolish people suffers harm. So if we want to be wise, if we want to be smart, if we want to be doing the good things in life, if we want to live a better life, we have to walk with people, or we have to be friends with people who are doing the right things, who are doing the good things. That makes sense to everyone, right? Yeah, it seems pretty like, yeah, obviously. And if we hang out with people, or if we spend a lot of time with people who are doing stupid stuff, or who are, smoking pot, or who are looking at websites that they shouldn't, or staying up later than their parents say they should, or using language that isn't right, if we hang out with people like that on a consistent basis, then we'll start to do the same thing. And like I said before, we don't always know we're being affected until it's too late. So I want you all to think, just for a second, just think about the friends in your life, the people in your life, the people who are closest to you. Are they bringing you closer to God, or are they pushing you away from him? That's kind of what we're going to be thinking about as we go into small groups in just a little bit. But I wanted to ask that question now. Are the people in your life pushing you towards God or pushing you away from him? And so what's really crazy is that sometimes people think that religion and science don't agree a lot. Sometimes people get that stuck in their head, but that's actually the opposite of the truth. And so scientists say this, psychologists say this, religious people say this, everyone agrees that you are, and it's this statement right here, you are or will be the average of your 5 closest people. And so what that means is that if you think about your 5 best friends, I know it's kind of weird to rank your friends, but if you just hypothetically could think about it for a second, if you think about your 5 closest friends, you are going to be like them, or you already are like them. So if your 5 closest friends, just as an example, always go to eat fast food, you're probably going to be putting on a few extra pounds. If your 5 closest people love working out and are trainers at the Heritage Fitness Project, then you're going to be fit. If your 5 closest people always talk back to their parents, then you're probably going to talk back to your parents and not respect them very much. If your 5 closest people really care about school, then you're probably also going to care about school. And so who you let into your life really, really affects you. Another way to say that is our friendships determine our future. Our friendships determine our future. And like I said, it's not just science, it's not just psychology. Paul, one of the writers of the Bible, one of the biggest writers of the Bible, he contributed a lot in the later half, but he was writing to a church in Corinth, and he was fired up about this. And so he was I almost said texting. He was writing to the people in Corinth, and he said, "Don't let anyone fool you. Bad companions make a good person bad." Let me say it one more time. Don't let anyone fool you. Bad companions make a good person bad. So it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're hanging with the bad people, eventually they're going to get to you. You should come back to your senses and stop sinning. Some of you don't know anything about God. So he's writing to this church. He's writing to these people who were pursuing God just a little bit earlier. But because they were letting people in who weren't great influences, they forgot who God was. They forgot how to follow. They forgot how to live their life. And that's really, really scary. So I want to ask you guys one more time, as we're getting ready to head to small groups, are your friends bringing you closer to God or pushing you away from him? Are your friends bringing you closer to God or pushing you away from him? Will you guys pray with me? God, I want to thank you for everyone in this room who came out today to have fun and to grow in their friendships and to learn about you, God. And I just pray that we can all learn to pursue you, and that we can all learn to figure out and find the best influences on our lives. And I truly believe that you have people out there who are looking for us, who are trying to be friends with us, who are trying to start relationships with us. And I just pray that you can lead us to them and help us to make better decisions and all of that. I say this all in your name. Amen.
Can we give Jake a round of applause? Woo! All right. So, if during that prayer something stuck out to you and you want to have a follow-up conversation with either one of the leaders in the orange tags here, or Jake, or even some of the high school leaders if you're closer with one of them, I just want to encourage you, we're going to have a number up on the screen right over here. If you can text the word Trust Jesus to 94,000. When you're first starting in your relationship in pursuing Jesus, it can kind of be confusing to think about, okay, what do I do now? I'm a Christian, where do I start in a way? And that's such a helpful tool to be able to use to both receive a free gift, as well as just get a little bit of direction on maybe where to start reading in the Bible if you're haven't ever picked up the Bible before and really dove into it, as well as what those next steps could be.
Yeah, and speaking of one of our next steps that we have coming up for those who might have just trusted Jesus for the first time today, or maybe you've had a relationship with God for a long time, is we have Fam Night coming up on March 23rd, 7 to 8:30 p.m. And if you're like, wait, what's Fam Night? I don't know if I've heard of that before. So it is a night where we're having your whole family here. So you can invite your mom, dad, uncle, brother, sister.
Not dogs, though. Sorry.
Oh, not dogs.
Dog
I know. I
allergies are a
wish.
thing. I'm
I
sorry.
wish. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. But we're going to have a night where you can invite your entire family, and with your youth family and with your family, you will be able to publicly declare that you are a follower of Jesus and you have a relationship with Jesus. And it's just going to be one big celebration, one big party. You do not want to miss it. So if you want to find out more, just tell mom and dad or uncle, grandma, grandpa to go to heritagechurch.com/events to learn more. And we're super excited for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And now, if we can all turn around, take a look at the people in the back. Everyone say, hi, camera crew.
Hi, camera crew.
Hi, sound crew.
Hi, sound crew.
So there's a lot of people who do work on Wednesday nights behind the scenes, whether it be setting up these chairs here, setting up 9 Square, the tables, or even after HC Youth with setting up all the chairs that you get to sit in on Sunday morning for services. If you're interested at all in helping out, I think it's a very cool opportunity to, in a way, be the hands and feet of the church. If you're looking to serve, go ahead. There is a table that is also back there. I can't really see because the lights are a little bright.
Oh,
and
Beth is
I'm gonna be real.
waving.
Oh,
we
there we go.
got, I think Candace is waving
Over
too.
there.
Look at all those friends.
Perfect. Thank you for
Yeah.
being my eyes for that moment there.
I got LASIK, so
But
you know.
there is a sign-up sheet there, or even if you want to talk to someone who also serves in other places in the church, like I know a couple of us serve in HC Kids on Sunday mornings. I get to usually hang out with the 4th and 5th graders at the noon service, which is an absolute blast. So do a bunch of these other leaders here actually have all gotten opportunities to serve with the little kiddos, and it's a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. So, yeah, you can go back to those tables and sign up, and we'll get you more information. So we want to thank you guys for joining us this Wednesday night. We hope you guys had a great time. And for those watching online, thank you so much for hanging out with us virtually tonight. We're now going to head to small groups, so you guys are dismissed, and go have a great time with small groups.
Pan Man!
you.